Hello friends, it's Kristine Vicente with Queen City Stamp Art, and I'm back this week with another clean and simple card idea. This is going to be a summer birthday card that we're making today, and we're going to be using the Art Gallery stamp set. This is an older stamp set that's in the annual catalog. It coordinates beautifully with the Floral Gallery dies. In fact, when this was introduced a few years ago originally, this was a bundle. It's no longer bundled, but you can still purchase the dies that coordinate with this stamp set to cut out the main images, and then a couple of nice sentiment panels for stamping the sentiments. And then there's also a just want to say word die that you can cut out as part of this as well. So it kind of all coordinates and goes beautifully together. One of the things I love to do is pair old with new. So for this card, we're going to be using the Lovely and Linen Designer Series paper. And I just want to give you a quick look at some of this paper. So one of the ways that you can create clean and simple cards with your Designer Series paper, even busy patterns like these, is to use the reverse side, which is the more neutral pattern. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be using this beautiful navy blue, like herringbone pattern. But there are other patterns we could create the same card using. This beautiful evening evergreen piece. This side is quite busy, but the reverse side is actually very soothing. So this pattern paper is really, really beautiful, by the way. It just has such pretty patterns and lots of great colors. I really, really love it. I've been playing with it here and there in my personal card making, and I just thought I would combine it with that Art Gallery stamp set today to create the project. So we're going to start by doing some of the stamping, and I'm going to be using Night of Navy ink for my sentiment and Sweet Sorbet for the actual flower image. So let's give the flower image a little love here. So we're just going to stamp this in Sweet Sorbet ink, and then I'm going to die cut this piece out. I'm going to close this up, and this. We'll use Night of Navy for our little sentiment here. And I actually die cut one of the little sentiment strips to use on this card today. So we'll stamp that. And I love these images because they're photopolymer, so you can see right through them. It makes it very, very easy to stamp them. So I'm just going to bring in my little mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I'm going to line this up and quickly die cut this. There we go. And here's our little piece. So we can set this aside, and then we can bring in the rest of the card making supplies. So I'm starting with a 11 by 4 1/4 inch piece of white, basic white thick cardstock for my card base. And then I score that at 5 1/2. And then I cut a panel of the Designer Series paper from that Lovely Linen pack. And we're going to glue this right to the card front. And we're going to cover the whole card front with this one. Just like that. And then I cut a panel of vellum using the color and contour dies. The scallop contour dies. And so we're going to put a little bit of adhesive right in the center of this piece as well, just a small amount. You don't need a lot to hold it down. And I'm just going to center this piece in the middle. And then we're going to take this solid image that we stamped. Now, some of the elements that keep this clean and simple are the subtle pattern in the background. Even though it's kind of colorful with the navy blue, it's the repeat of the pattern keeps it pretty calm. And then the vellum acts as a filter to kind of filter out the boldness of this underneath the flower so that it brings sort of the flower forward. Then we're also going to add some dimensional adhesive to bring the flower forward in our field of vision here. And there are a lot of little subtle tips that can make something that might seem a little bit more bold, actually very subtle and nice for a clean and simple design. So we're just gonna remove these little release papers here. Sometimes that can be tricky with these little tiny ones. And I'm just going to center this right in the middle of this panel. So a real nice centered design. And then this little sentiment piece is going to also be added here. I'm gonna put a dimensional on each side. And then I'm gonna put a little bit of adhesive in the center just to hold that in place. I'm gonna place it right over top of the stem. And I think I'm gonna cover the end of the stem just to make it look a little bit more finished. Just need to make sure that's straight, like that. And then to embellish this card, I thought it would be fun to bring in some of that in-color twine since I'm using Sweet Sorbet. This is a Sweet Sorbet twine. This little twine pack is super versatile. You can use it with lots of different colors. I could really use this with any pink or red that we have because it's so soft. And then I'm just going to trim the ends of this. And we'll just add this to the flower with a glue dot. I'm just going to put this right at the base of that big flower there to give this a little bit of extra texture. You don't see it very much. It's very, very subtle, but it adds that texture, and that's what you're looking for in a clean and simple design like this. I'm also going to add a little red rhinestone. These are really pretty. Most people just pull these out for Christmas, but I like to use them all year round on cards, any kind of card with red. This is a really pretty little accent. And that's basically the card for today. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was fun to see kind of a card that was an old stamp set that was paired with new designer series paper. The August host code is open and celebration is still in full swing. So please visit KristineVicente.stampinup.net to see in case you need any supplies. And I will see you next week with more clean and simple, quick and easy card designs.